Miles P.
Before I get to know y'all got to know me. These are just thoughts and opinions of Miles P.
Good week though. Good weekend. Especially for people who ain't got money. This is a great week end. A great week. Great next couple of weeks. Just a good time. You know, the weather good. Tax time. I mean, just, right now, it's a good thing to be in the land of the living, as they say. It's a good time to be here. Also, why all this money coming in, don't forget about your health. Your health is the number one reason why you are still here. Your health is good enough to keep you here, so don't forget about your health. All I can say is to the people that don't care about the vaccine, got things, their opinions of the vaccine, ain't gonna take it. One thing I can say is if you ain't gonna take the vaccine, you at least need to work out and eat better. I seen a big dude that eat motherfucking McDonald's every day. He gonna say he ain't taking the vaccine. I said, well, that's cool now, but hey, man, the way you eating and the way you living, hey, man, you ain't got to worry about the vaccine taking you out. Something else gonna take you out. So let's get our health together, including myself. We gotta start eating better, exercising way more than we should, and just trying to stay on the right path. Too good a time right now to be living. Kirk Franklin made the news, and this time it wasn't for a new gospel song. It was because he got caught cussing his son out. And I don't even know if you can call it getting caught cussing your son out, because I'm sure this wasn't the first time. My dad at preaching, he didn't cuss me out before, so I didn't really feel like it was an issue. I didn't even feel like he had to apologize. And sometimes you just need to get your ass cussed out, just sometimes. Sometimes, and everybody tripping. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, man. You talking about cussing? Church folks, a lot of times they be the main one cussing. Unless you not have some money that you owe somebody at the church, they will cuss you out at church. And sometimes cussing ain't the worst part about church. Church folks will look at you that make you feel like it was worse than a cuss word. So, church folks are the last people to be trying to judge what Kirk Franklin did. Kirk Franklin is a damn musician. Anybody say a musician can't cuss nobody out? We got to get this COVID stuff under control so everybody can start back going to church. Because it seemed like when we stopped going to church, a lot more stuff started happening that we realized. See, when you go to church, a lot of stuff is just hid behind a lot of stuff. And now we ain't been going to church and we starting to see the real deal. You starting to pay more attention to stuff and realize how important it was to go to church on Sundays. Not that it was going to save your life, but it seemed like when you was going to church, things were a little bit better. You might not have been paying your tithes, but at least you was going to church, being in attendance, hoping that it'll count towards something in case your day comes. And at least you could tell the Lord, hey, Lord, I was going to church. I wasn't just the best at paying tithes, but I was coming to church. So one of the things I love about doing this episode is not just me talking, but I also get to let somebody else talk. This is a friend of mine. I guess you would say ladies first.
Ladies.
So I ain't gonna talk too much. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and just tell me a little bit about you. I know a little bit about you, but tell the people a little bit about you for those who really don't know who you are.
Right. My name is Amber. I like to create things. I'm from Mississippi, Aberdeen to be exact. Deantown.
39730, right?
Right.
Gotcha.
Rest in peace to Pookie Love. He the reason we call Aberdeen Deantown. And he just passed recently. But aside from that, yeah, I'm from Aberdeen. Small town that does big things. But yeah, I mean, what is there to know about me? I feel like, I like to create things. I like to create music and anything as it pertains to media, production, video productions, audio productions, just whatever.
Well, one thing that always interests me about you is, your voice, your singing. Mm-hmm. And I know that's what a lot of people know you for.
Right.
The singing, how you'll blow that microphone away.
Yeah.
What was it about music that made you, like want to do it? You know, was it? You know, it had to be something.
Right.
You was raised in the church. Your mama was a singer, and you heard her sing, and now you singing.
Right.
You know, what was it?
Well, you know, everybody was raised in church. You're from the South, you're raised in church. So I think that's more so just kind of where I learned to just hone my gift, you know, just as far as singing and getting better at it and learning, listening to songs, learning keys, teaching parts, that type of stuff just helped create the foundation of, you know, the way I sing, the way I arrange music, vocals, just whatever. But I would rather say life is the reason, because, you know, just growing up, you know, we all go through the human experience, and I was just gifted with the ability to write. You know, a lot of times when I dealt with things, I didn't really talk to people. I would just always write. I have so many journals. And, you know, I just really got to know myself. Like, I just connected to myself on that soul level from a really young age through my writing. You know, and this was before I even started singing. But like I said, then church came and we sung in the choir a lot. And that just added another layer to, you know, what I had going on as far as singing. But yeah, just going through life, ups and downs, those type of things. Like whenever I would deal with stuff, that's just kind of how I found solace. I write about it, I talk about it, just kind of let it go in that regard. And the more I did that, the more, you know, it's like I could reflect on my life in a way that was really creative and that helped me, you know, just kind of be a better songwriter and, you know, just life experiences though. Life experiences really, I think that had a lot to do with the artistry, because initially I didn't even want to do music. You know, I was big on basketball. I played ball in college, and the WNBA was the only thing I really had my sights on. And that was another little ordeal I went through, and I had to pull myself out of that because our basketball didn't work out the way I wanted it to, and that kind of threw me a little bit. So I would write a lot to, you know, decompress about that, and that just, all that type of stuff just turned into songs. It turned into, my journals turned into words. They would be rhyming, and I'm like, okay, like this is music, like this is therapy for me. So yeah, music came from me just working my life out.
Gotcha. So the ball was first. And
oh yeah.
So you was gonna be out here Lisa Leslie out.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be, like, I looked up to them women, you know?
Right.
And I wanted to go to Ole Miss straight out of high school, but I wouldn't have been able to start out with a full scholarship. They was gonna give me like 30% because they had already done all their recruiting. And I basically put myself out there with them, like, here's my highlight tape, check me out. And they liked me, they gave me a schedule and everything before I left, but my parents was like, no, ICC giving you a full scholarship, you going to ICC.
Right,
you know?
Right.
And that just kind of threw me from right then, and I was just like, I really want to go to this though. So and from there, it was like my whole basketball experience just kind of spiraled me.
Right.
So I took it as, I mean, you know, must be something for me with this music, because it's like life is steering me in this direction.
Right. So
I ain't put the ball down, but you know.
Right, so you found your passion and your dream and your strength at an early age.
Oh yeah, super early.
So it gave you a lot of time to work on it.
Exactly.
And be as good as you are. Now, who was your influence? Because it had to be somebody that you know, idolized and, you know, who you looked up to and wanted to, you know, maybe not necessarily have the same style, but somebody that made you be like, because like for me, you know, it's certain artists that make me like, okay. You know, it seems like I understand, you know. So what was that artist? Who was that drives you to kind of, you know, stay at?
So I'm gonna start from the very beginning on this. I'm gonna go ahead and answer it in short form, and I'm gonna say Whitney Houston. Okay, but this is the backstory on that. I used to like to dress a certain way, right? And my mom and them, you know, they wouldn't buy me certain stuff. So this is how I got so headstrong about being in singing contests.
Right.
Like this another way I honed the skills of singing, right? Because mama wouldn't buy me stuff, so she'd be like, you know, you got clothes at home, you got this, and I see a shirt like, mama want this. She'd be like, nah. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get in these singing contests, and I'm gonna win bread, and I'm gonna buy what I want. You know, and if I had some pictures right now, I'd show you. You know, I stayed fresh. Had all the basketball jerseys. Sauconys was my thing back in the day. What? I had like 13 different pair. But anyway, you know, my mom and them would buy me this stuff. So it's like, I told mom, I came to her and I was like, look, I really want to do talent shows, you know. And in the back of my mind, you know, this is how I'm going to get my money, because we was so young. They weren't going to let us work no more than being at the skating rink. And they weren't really, you know, we was little children laborers out there. I mean, we got a few dollars, but right, it wasn't no 300, 400 like I would win in these singing contests. So I came to mom, I was like, I want to do this, woo, woo, woo. And she came to me with Whitney Houston's Greatest Hits CD. Because, you know, up until that point, really, we was in church heavy. We sung gospel music all the time. We ain't really listened to nothing else, you know. And she gave me that Whitney Houston CD, and she was like, you learned this song, this song, this song. You know, you can't go outside till you like this. She was like, if you really serious about being in singing competitions, then you got to sing songs that ain't nobody else gonna sing. You know, and she was like, and if you can master these songs, she's like, you won't have no problem, you know, winning no competitions or whatever. So, and that's what I did, man. I listened to Whitney day in, day out. And of course, you know, talking about the voice, like she the voice, you know. So just listening to them songs, learning them, like she disciplined me in a way that no other artist has. And I think, you know, my sound does really come from her. Like I am spun from her fabrics, and I'm honored to be that way. But yeah, that definitely just came from me just listening to Whitney. Like growing up, that's really all I listened to, because every weekend I was in that newspaper and I was making sure I was in somebody's singing contest, you know, be it Columbus, be it Tupelo, and that's really how I made my name. You know, church too. You go to somebody's church and sing, then everybody know you. To a certain degree. Doing it for the Lord. Right. But on weekends, like on Saturdays, Fridays, yeah, it's Whitney. I'm singing Whitney on somebody's mic, and, you know, I'm winning $350. And I'm hoping that this is over before the mall closes, because when we leave here, we're going straight to the mall, and I'm gonna pick my shit up. Right.
So what's your like all-time, you know, favorite song?
Ooh. To perform or
I mean, you know.
See, that's what it's so many of them. And then with me, you know, like I change like the seasons when it comes to music. It just depends on what's going on. So sometimes on some days it can be a Whitney track, some days it can be something else. But I think something that I can always listen to by Whitney is I Have Nothing. Because the words are so strong, and, you know, just her voice is just amazing. But I can listen to that song pretty much feeling any type of way, and just always kind of it resonate with me.
So what you think about the music now, like the artists out now? Do you think, like, how do you like their music when you start looking back at, you know, Whitney Houston and you know her impact on the, you know, industry and music and what she done? Like, what do you think about the music now? Do you think these artists, you know, do you see a Whitney in some of these artists now?
Well, I mean, like with anything, like, you know, the times change. And when the times change, the artists change, the people change. But the influences that, you know, all of this is founded upon don't never change. So it's like, take for instance, Whitney. She set the standard for Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, Rihanna don't sound like Whitney, but she definitely is... she basically is supported by, you know, all the work Whitney did before her. Right. That's why she able to, you know, stand on that pop platform. You know, Whitney broke that barrier. So no, she don't sound like Whitney and all of this and that, but she definitely is, you know, she's kind of like a fruit of Whitney's labor. You know what I'm saying? And I just appreciate the sound. You know, I don't hear no Whitneys today, but, you know, everybody got their own distinct sound, and, you know, they influences. Everybody influence different. They vocals, the reason they sing, the melodies and all of that they do. So, I don't know. I don't really hear no Whitneys today. You know, that's a high bar. But definitely artists these days, like, we living off the fruit of the land, so to speak, because Whitney paved their way.
Right.
Yeah, and you just kind of got to respect the sound of the day, because, you know, everybody different. I appreciate any artist that's out there putting out good music, good conscious music, something that's uplifting people, informing people. Everything else just kind of get in where it fit in.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've been doing the music for, a long time. That's kind of how we met, kind of how we bonded. We had a good friendship for years. So
I met you at Pepper's. You remember that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was the first time we met. We was at that long ass table. We was eating lunch, and everybody was introducing themselves because it was people from different branches. And I remember when you said, "I'm Miles P." Hap was standing right there, and he said, "This is our comedian right here, everybody." And I looked, I was like, "Oh yeah, that guy, comedian." I thought that was so cool though. I was like, "Oh, that's nice." Like,
you know what?
Somebody that care about their art.
Yeah, but they would always want me to do something, but it was like, motherfucker, if I do something, y'all gonna find me.
Exactly.
This ain't no friendly fun.
Exactly. And look,
I hate this fucking job.
Exactly.
I fucking hate you. Motherfucker, if I say how I feel, you gonna find me.
Look, I tried to keep the music shit under wraps so much, but every time, like even when I used to make sales and shit, they put in the email, Amber, aka Miss HGE, just close 12 gross sales, and I'll be like, y'all can keep that off.
Right.
Like that's not for the record.
I always was told, separate who you are from what you do.
Right. Especially at that, I feel like at that stage, because it was so early for us.
Right.
Like y'all didn't need to know all that, but then social media, that's why I blocked a lot of their asses. But at the same time, I was like, see, this social media shit ain't really. And I had got off Facebook for a couple of years, especially when I was working for AT&T. I got off.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So damn, what was we talking about? I got sidetracked.
I think I said favorite song or favorite artist, but my next question, and we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
After this, and my thing is, you've been doing it for a long time. So, was there ever a moment where you, they kind of discouraged you and you didn't want to keep doing it, like you doubted yourself, because I know everybody. I know for me, I've had my times, I doubted myself. I didn't see the light, and still some days I still have those moments.
Yeah.
So was there ever like a time in the early stages?
Well, I think so first off, we're all human, right? So we gonna go through that fluctuation of emotions. I remember listening to a Nip interview, and Nip said that he went through every emotion possible, and I could relate to that because we all have. Like when you care about this shit on a certain level and you executing consistently, like it'll take a toll on you to a degree. But one thing that I have learned to do is I don't really see it from a standpoint of success as it's defined by most people, because the world does not normalize high frequency behavior. You know what I'm saying? When you operate on a high frequency, when you doing what it takes to get shit done, you putting out content, you doing, you staying in your lane, people don't really want to support that because that's not the norm. The norm is you following the masses, you getting a 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? And you not really putting that much energy into your calling and your gift. So anytime you burn out on that, you can get to feeling like, am I really doing this for the right reasons? Or, is it really gonna work out for me? But like I said, I just keep my eye on the prize. And what I mean by that is I allow this music shit to just make me the best version of myself. And as long as I'm focused on that, I'm good. As long as whatever I put out, the content I put out, if I'm pleased with it, I'm satisfied with it, then, the universe is going to honor that. And I'm going to continue to have the inspiration. Like, I'm inspired. To this point, like, where I'm at, they say once you put 10,000 hours in with anything, you just on another level with it. So right now, at this point, we really just buying time. Like, we just, it's only a matter of time. And that's really how I see it. It's just a point of continuously putting out content and, just allowing shit to do what it do. But I don't really find myself in that space. Like I remember I was feeling some type of way not too long ago, and I spoke with a good friend about it, and she really just kind of helped me see things, helped me recalibrate myself. But even in that, it wasn't that I felt like, I wasn't gonna make it or whatever that means. Like I was just, you just get burnt out. You do stuff to a certain degree for so long, like it burns you out, but you can't, I try not to see it in a negative light. Like what I'm doing, what's meant for me is meant for me, and what's meant for me ain't gonna pass me by, because I'm gonna stay in the way of it,
Right.
Regardless if I gotta slow down a little bit this week, I may not be able to, but emotionally, that's why I always try to keep my mental in check. Like emotionally, as long as my mental and my emotional is in check, like even if I get tired or if I get, kind of fatigued about shit, like I'll always kind of stay balanced out enough to know that, okay, maybe I just need a little rest, or maybe I just need to go back to the drawing board on some shit. But like I'll never negate the fact that I'm human and that I may deal with certain type of emotions at the same time. But at the same time, I'm gonna keep going.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'll never let I'll never let my denominator get higher than my numerator.
Well, I wasn't good in math class, so I couldn't even tell you.
Stupid.
I remember it.
I'm gonna just say, just saying, I'll never,
I got
I'm gonna keep it balanced out.
Well, look, I enjoy, listening to your story. I know I done heard it before, but the people haven't heard it. Some people have.
And that's what I said. I don't think I've even, because, I don't really be putting myself, and that's another thing I'm going to do a lot this year, too. People are really going to get to know me a lot better because most people just know me from being in church and singing in church, and that's because, like he was just saying, as far as AT&T, when we was there, it was just a certain level of transparency I just wasn't going to allow people to see, but I just feel like, me as well as you, we just at that point now where this is what it takes and this is what it's gonna be. So
well, that's why I wanted you on here, to tell your story, give you the another platform, another way of and talking to the people,
right,
and just letting you tell your story. It ain't about me, it's about you right now. You just told
sure. I told y'all I'm a hustler, baby.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because my mama, she wouldn't buy me she went felines and shit. She was like, you don't need that shit. Right. You got clothes, you got this. So really, the music shit was really a hustle for me. I was first introduced to Ralph Lauren. I didn't know Ralph Lauren from a can of paint. But I just seen some shirts and I was like, ooh, I want them shirts. And she was like, you got shirts at home. So I was like, all right, we got to figure this out. Because what I'm not finna do is keep wearing them overalls and shit. Like, I want some real clothes.
Right. Damn, that's funny.
I think when you put this, upload this, I'm gonna put up some pictures, like some young nigga pictures of me. So you're gonna be like, oh, she was friends. Look at them South Codys. And I was a big fan of the Tar Heels, North Carolina. So I made sure I had them jerseys and them shorts and everything real fresh.
So how can the people that were geeked about this interview to hear you talk about your life and your experience, how can they get in touch with you? How can they follow you?
What they need to do is follow me on Instagram. Excuse me, because that IG shit finna be popping all 2021. I'm telling you. Starting off in the new year, and I do say, when I say new year, I mean the astrological new year. We really right now about to come up on the new year. What is this? March 15th is really gonna be the new year. But anyway, follow me on IG _ Amber the Creator. Just follow my IG, hit me up. I don't know if it's still private or not. I think I opened it up. But even if not, I'll still just add whoever. It don't matter. But yeah, follow me on IG because that's gonna be the main hitch to keep my party live. That'll be the best place to link up.
Well, y'all heard her. Follow her, subscribe to whatever she got going on. Look for her to be somewhere near you singing, whether it's in the church, at a funeral, at a kids party, strip club, somewhere. Y'all always support her. Right. Support her. And I sure appreciate you taking the time to come by and, chat with me for a while. I know you got things to do and I got shit to do. And of
course. We gotta take a selfie together so I can put
That's right. Selfie time.
Hey.
Y'all have a good week.